Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody, and welcome to today's OET official live speaking masterclass. My name's Scott. I'm an OET teacher and managing director of Swoosh English, and we're an OET premium preparation provider and OET all-star institution. So it's absolutely lovely having everyone here today. So please let me know in the chat box that you're here today, first and foremost, and also that you can hear me and that you can see me as well. It's absolutely lovely seeing everyone today, and I hope that you are all well. Hello, Nissimol. Joseph has said good morning. Good morning to you too, and good morning to everyone else who has decided to join us today. We got some students coming in here from the Philippines, from Nepal, Nigeria, Pakistan, and other countries, I am sure. I look forward to seeing your comments and having you interact with me today. So, of course, I hope everyone's OET preparation is going super well as well at this time. And I hope that you get a lot of benefit from today's official OET speaking masterclass. We got a lot of stuff coming up, so make sure you stick until the very end to get lots of details about your OET speaking, some tips and tricks, as well as a chance to do some OET speaking with me in today's session. Now, Fred's just joined us saying hello from Ghana. Hello, Fred from Ghana. Welcome to the session today. I hope that you are doing super well. Well, let's just get stuck into today's session. I can't wait to go through what we all have to do today in today's sessions. Let me just get my presentation good to go. And let's just get cracking. So with today's session, guys, you probably know already what we're going to be doing. But of course, we're going to learn and review a lot about the scoring criteria for OET speaking today. Very important to ensure that you are ready to go on the big day of the exam. In today's mini lesson, we're going to learn about how to manage your preparation time for your OET speaking role plays. As that 3-minute prep time is key for you to ensure that you are good to go for the rest of the 5-minute speaking time in the role play. I'm going to take part in or listen to some OET role plays depending on who is chosen today. So wait around for that. Of course, it's important that you listen to the feedback on today's role play and also give some performance on your own as well. And at the very end, we will have a brief Q&A where I'll dedicate some time to answer any of your questions and queries about your OET preparation, about Swoosh English. You can even ask me what I had for breakfast. I'll tell you anything whatsoever in that Q&A. So make sure you stick around until the very end to make the most of that. So let's get stuck in. I'd love to get to know all OET, potential OET candidates in these sessions. So I'd like to spend a little bit of time just asking you about your motives and your dreams for OET preparation at this point. So let me know, guys, in the chat box, if you're on OET Facebook or YouTube or Swoosh English Facebook and YouTube. I see all the comments coming through. So just send me a message. What do you plan to do when you pass your OET exam, guys? I look forward to seeing your comments when it comes to this. What do you plan to do when you pass your OET exam? Please let me know in the comments. I'll bring a few up on the screen as well, as I love to see what drives everyone today. What makes you want to take this exam and pass it? And I'd love to bring a few comments up on the screen. Okay, Amal has said the PLAB, but what do you want to do, Amal, once you pass the PLAB? You're not doing OET because of the PLAB. You're doing the OET and the PLAB because of, what is your reason? Let me know in the chat box, please. Okay, Raham has also said prepare for the PLAB. Think bigger, Raham. Why are you doing the PLAB? Why are you doing the OET? What makes you want to do this? Here's a good answer. Hi, Mike. Mike says going to my dream country in the UK. And why is that your dream country, Mike? Let us all know in the chat box as well. Christina says, I want to migrate to Ireland. Serena wants to relocate to Ireland depending on my passes. Tina wants to go to the UK. I can't bring all the comments on the screen depending on where they are today, guys, but I will just audibly mention these. Jyoti on the YouTube page has said, move to the UK. Cancel wants to work as a doctor. And Venus also wants to move to the UK as well. Lovely, guys. Keep that going. Keep these big reasons in your mind at all times throughout your OET preparation, guys. Keep the comments coming in. My team and I will be reading them, and we'll reach out to you if we feel like we can help you and assist you any more in achieving your dreams of moving to the UK. So guys, what is your biggest challenge with OET speaking? We'd like to focus on these OET speaking sessions with OET. I've been doing these for a long time. I actually was an interlocutor for the OET speaking exam in Melbourne, Australia a few years ago. And that's what actually got me really interested in OET, believe it or not, because I love interacting with nurses and doctors and other medical professionals in the OET speaking component. And I've always identified a lot through that what challenges candidates have with their OET speaking. But I want to know from you, in your own words, what's your biggest challenge with OET speaking, guys? What do you find to be the most difficult, and what do you need more and extra support with? Shitaz has said fast pace. That's, of course, keeping that pace up and going. Loving the comments coming in, guys. Loving them coming in. Immaculate has said being anxious. Anxious is tricky, of course. Anxiety is one thing that always is pretty difficult to overcome in the test day and in your preparation as well. And Micah says sometimes the topic is unfamiliar, right? That's a common difficulty with the OET speaking role play and speaking in general. You just don't know what might be coming next. That's why you need to make sure that you are able to adapt on the fly on the day of your exam. You can use your OET speaking skills, Mike, to overcome any role play challenge that there might be on the day. And Shrishti has said, I lose confidence when I see an interlocutor. Well, I hopefully will get you some confidence today, Shrishti. Venus says losing confidence. Shinju says getting stuck in the role play. Tintu has said reading it is very difficult to me. And Chantel has said stammering. Okay. Stress and nerves, says Sarah as well. A couple more, guys, before we keep going. Ray Hammond said, sometimes I make some grammatical mistakes, also vocabulary. Well, hopefully today and in these OET speaking sessions that we do, you can obviously watch them. You can watch them back in the playlist that OET and Swoosh English have. Will help you overcome some aspects of your speaking problems that you guys have, okay? So in today's mini lesson, before we get into our OET speaking role plays one-on-one, I'm going to go through something today that's actually going to help a lot of candidates just realize that preparation is key for OET speaking. And if you can manage your preparation time effectively, hopefully that will result in a more organized delivery of your OET role play, which will mean less anxiety, less stammering, more fluency, and also more of the role play card covered, therefore getting you a B score or above, which most of you need. So let's talk about the preparation time effectively for OET speaking, and hopefully you guys will go away with something today that you can put into practice in your own OET speaking. So first of all, the basics of OET. Some of you might be new to OET preparation at this point. Some of you might be veterans. You might know it quite well. But who can tell me how many role plays, first and foremost, do you have to do on the day of the OET exam? Let me know, how many role plays do you have to do on the day of the OET exam? Who can tell me how many minutes are in each of those role plays? Who can tell me how much preparation time you have for each role play? And who can tell me how many minutes in total is the OET exam, speaking exam, that is. It's important to know these basics like the back of your hand in time for preparation, so that you can obviously tailor your strategy to OET prep and go into on the day of the exam knowing it incredibly well. So some answers are coming in here, guys. Lovely. While the answers are coming in, we just a lovely comment come through. Shitrak has said, I got my OET result today and I cleared it first chance. Thank you, Scott. Your videos helped me in the speaking part. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Chitrak. Well done on your OET success. And thank you very much for that little shout out to me in Swoosh English. Well done on your fantastic results. Okay, guys, lots of comments coming in here and they're all looking quite good. You know your OET role play, OET speaking format pretty well by the looks of things. Let's go through some answers. So as we can see, and as you've been telling me, there are 2 role plays on the day of the OET speaking exam. and they will be 5 minutes each in terms of the speaking component. You have to speak for around about 5 minutes for each role play. You have 3 minutes of preparation time per role play, 3 very crucial minutes. And in total, OET speaking lasts about 20 minutes. You will have a warm-up before the role play in which the interlocutor will ask you a few non-assessed questions regarding you and your medical career, for example, in advance. That'll get you warmed up thinking and practicing your English before you get into the role play assessment. So well done, guys. We know our role plays quite well. Here is an example of a role play card. We will be using this one today for our tip series on OET preparation. As you know, most role play cards look something like this. You have the setting, you will then have the overview, you will then have the task with bullet points, and those are the areas you need to focus on in advance of the OET role play. So let's look now at 7 tips for effective OET preparation time management, which will help you then with the organization, flow, and confidence of your OET role play speaking. So tip number 1. The first thing that you should do when you get your OET roleplay card, obviously if you're doing it the paper-based, you'll have the roleplay card in front of you. You can look at it, you can write it. Computer-based, you'll have it on the screen in front of you. But the first thing that you should do is identify the patient's name and if this is a new consultation or a follow-up. The first thing you'll want to do, of course, is say the patient's name. So you need to identify that name to begin with, and also depending on if it's a follow-up or a new consultation, the flow of the role play, the beginning, and the wording that you might use may be slightly different. So it's the first thing that you should do is the following things. Now, how can you identify the patient's name? Don't forget, it's an interlocutor. It's not a real patient, but simply what you should do straight away is ask the interlocutor what to call him or her. So say something like, for example, excuse me, what can I call you in this role play? The interlocutor will oblige. They will say, you can call me by my first name. And then you use that name throughout the role play, and it'll just help you get started with your role play. I've seen a lot of OET speaking students be anxious about starting the role play because they don't know how to address the interlocutor. The interlocutor will give you that as long as you ask that from the beginning. So simply say, excuse me, what can I call you in this role play? They will say that will give you some confidence to begin your role play. That's how you get the name. Now you need to identify, is it a new consultation or a follow-up? So simply scan the role play card, guys. Have a look through the role play card and tell me yourself, do you think this is a new consultation or do you think this is a follow-up? I'll just bring this full screen for everyone so you can analyze this a bit better. But do you think it's a new consultation or a follow-up? Have a look through the role play card and send me a comment into the chat box where you're watching. Give me your answer. Is it a new consultation or is it a follow-up? Please let me know in the chat box. And I can see that some students are actually saying their test is coming up very soon. Komal, for example, has told me his test is next week. Any tips? Well, Komal, I'm going to give you some tips for preparation time for your OET role play practice today. So hopefully you'll take away something from that. Okay. Now, keep coming, guys. Keep reading. Tell me, is it a new role play or is it a follow-up consultation? Scan the language. Look for key words and key vocabulary, which will give you a clue into what it is. Okay, we got some answers coming through here. Some are saying new. Some are also saying a follow-up as well. Okay, interesting. We got a bit of a mixed bag here. I'll have to actually elaborate on that. Okay. Now, guys, this role play card is actually a new consultation. And the reason why it's new is because it's actually the first time that the patient has been here in the consultation itself. So we actually read this section. It says, this 45-year-old patient is attending the practice after suffering a mild anterior acute myocardial infarct 2 weeks ago. So I think this is the language why some candidates are thinking it's a follow-up, but it's not. The patient had the episode, the heart attack essentially, 2 weeks ago, but it's the first time they've actually gone to the suburban general practice. So this consultation is actually completely new. So be careful, guys, just to read around the whole idea and not just focus in on some key words. So I think this is what made you guys slip up in terms of thinking it's a follow-up. It's a brand new consultation. There's nothing about checking in or following up or reattending. None of these keywords. So it's a brand new consultation, which therefore will mean, guys, that you need to, of course, address the interlocutor as the patient as the first time that you are meeting, and therefore establishing that essential rapport as part of this conversation. Okay, so just pay extra attention to that, and usually you can find that in the task overview brief here regarding what is the state of the consultation. Okay, guys, now tip number 2 is to assess the urgency and the tone of the consultation that is to be upcoming, because that's very important for you to assess how you address the patient. Any difficult parts of the conversation, any problems or anything else that you might need to pre-address in your 3-minute preparation time. So how can you do that? Well, you got to think about, first and foremost, what is the setting of this role play? The setting give away a lot in determining what you think the tone will be. And the setting, of course, is up here. The setting is the suburban general practice. So it's simply a GP office. Now think, it's set in a GP office. What sort of tone would this kind of interaction be? Okay. Well, my thoughts would be, if it's a suburban general practice, then the consultation will be probably won't be as urgent as, for example, attending an A&E clinic after hours or an emergency hospital appointment, etc. So there might not be a sense of urgency here. But what other tones might this suggest? Well, we'll elaborate that very soon. But assess the setting and think about what the tone could be based on that. Okay, so now we've assessed the setting. It's a suburban general practice. The tone might not be super urgent, but we have to address a few other things in terms of how we address the patient too. So tip number 3, got to think about who the patient is, what the problem is, and when has the patient had that issue. Okay, so let's read over the scenario for this information, guys. I'll just bring this once again full screen so that we can see. Think about who the patient is, what their problem is, and when did they have that. Okay, so we start reading through the role play card. Well, we got a 45-year-old patient who is attending after a mild anterior acute myocardial infarct 2 weeks ago. We can say, okay, the problem occurred 2 weeks ago. Recovery was uncomplicated and the patient was discharged from hospital 4 days ago. So we got 4 days ago when the hospital appointment actually occurred. She is now very concerned about the long-term process of the recovery. So we got a 45-year-old who's attending the clinic for the first time after the hospital appointment, and they had a myocardial infarction 2 months ago. So they essentially had a heart attack. They're also very concerned about the long process of this recovery and are concerned about what needs to happen next. So identify those key details: who, 45-year-old patient, when, 2 weeks ago, heart attack, when, 4 days ago, released from hospital, and what the problem was as well. So read over that overview, underline those notes, and take the key information down. Okay. So all this information is usually here in the task card itself. So scan that quickly, get your information, get your notes, and take a note of them. Okay. Tip number 4 is then to proceed on to the next part of the role play, and that is reading the tasks. Now, reading on the task is very important, as the arrow says here. This is where you'll spend the majority of your role play speaking, of course. And what you need to do here is to focus on the key verbs that you will see at the beginning of the bullet points itself. So, for example, we have find out, we have we have advise, explain, reassure, and provide. And all these informations is here. So these verbs will give us some clues in terms of how we might actually start questioning or getting that information from the patient. Find out is directly interrogative. We have to ask them about how they're feeling. What are they worrying about? How can I reassure them? Advise means giving information on the importance of the next step of the program, aka the cardiac rehabilitation program, for example. Explaining is giving some more information. Reassuring is offering that reassurance that the patient may need. They'll probably have something in their role play card which will suggest, an anxious state, a worrisome state. They'll obviously express a problem to you, and that will be your cue to offer reassurance and practice some of that language that you've learnt in your OET speaking practice. And then providing is giving more information. But in this case, we're providing some recommendations. So make sure, of course, that you take a note of these verbs in your OET prep, underline them, circle them, however you have to identify them, and practice these different means of delivery in advance of your OET exam leading up to the big day. But focus on the verbs. There are some more that happens in some other role play cards, but typically these are 5 of the most common. So we kind of identified the verbs. That's very, very important. Now we need to anticipate how the patient might be feeling. Okay, so what key language can we see in the task card which might give clues into the patient's state of mind? Well, there's 2 phrases that I've found here. It says out in the task card. Find out what is worrying the patient, for example, and reassure the patient that his or her concerns are appropriate. Okay, so how can we do that? Well, we can see that here. Find out what is worrying the patient and be reassuring, and reassure the patient that his concerns are appropriate. We also have the wording of concerned in the task card here. So we got adjectives such as concerned, we have worrying, we have concerns, and we also have then reassurance that are needed. So what will be the patient's state of mind? Okay, well, we could probably identify that they're feeling quite worried, they're feeling quite stressed, they're feeling quite anxious. So we got to then tailor how that we deal with the patient with our tone and our urgency in regards to that. And that way we can preempt how much empathy we have to give, how much reassurance we have to give, and how we can deliver that appropriately to the patient in this situation here. So identify that with the key vocabulary. We might have angry patients, we might have scared patients, we might have indifferent patients, who knows? Anyway, it's important to identify that. The next thing we have to do is, once we identify all of those things, is to try and not get bogged down with the complicated medical jargon. There will be a lot of very, 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 very complicated medical terms which may actually appear inside the role play card itself. And when we're going through our explanations, we want to try and avoid going into super detail with that complicated medical jargon, because it can actually take a lot of time for us to explain that to the patient. That's not good for your 5-minute time management. And also, it can be quite complicated to explain that accurately when you're doing it under a 5-minute role play itself. So think about the lingo that you're going to be using. Simplify it as much as possible. Use layman terms as much as possible when you're going into the diagnosis and other medical information as well. Don't forget, you're not talking to another medical professional. You're talking to a member of the public who might not be as knowledgeable and new with the medical jargon, and it could just create less clarity in the message you're trying to deliver. Final tip, of course, is your role play time management itself, guys. So we've had some tips in terms of how we deliver the role play with our preparation time. Then how do we actually break it down? Well, we should be thinking about a very rough time management section as something like this. Well, we have to introduce ourselves to the patient and develop that initial rapport. Okay, so about 20, maximum 30 seconds for that, for an effective introduction. And as we can see, this role play card has been divided into 5 bullet points, and that will take up the majority of the role play itself. We're talking about 45 to 60 seconds each per bullet point, depending on how many there are. I often see patients, probably our role play practitioners, go into bullet points for about 2 minutes each. You've got to be very wary about your time management in going through the entire role play in time. It's also very important for you to close the role play as well. And often this is an overlooked aspect with someone who's very nervous or anxious about their OET prep. They just want to get out the door and finish the OET role play. But that closure is really, really important. And that will be something similar to the intro, about 20 to 30 seconds. You add all that up, it's approximately 5 minutes. There'll be a bit of give and take for each role play, but that's a very rough general rule of thumb in terms of how you manage your time when it comes to delivering each OET role play. So keep that in mind, guys, for your OET prep and moving forward. There we go. 7 top tips for OET preparation time, guys. We're going to be putting some of that into practice in today's session. Take it away and put it into practice in your own time with your own OET prep as well. So, guys, we're going to get into our OET speaking practice very, very soon. But before we get into OET speaking practice, it's important to just understand the scoring criteria. I'm going to go through this very, very, very quickly today, as it is important to give you a bit of a pretext in terms of how I'm going to be assessing candidates today on their OET speaking. So who can tell me, guys, question for the comment box, what are the 2 sets of scoring criteria for the OET roleplay? Please put them into the chat box, guys. Let me know what you know about OET practice, please. I'm looking forward to seeing how well that you know about it, okay? So we got Kwan Kamal has smashed it straight away with a fantastic answer, as has Tenzin as well, had told me what the 2 criteria are, linguistic and clinical communication criteria. Well done, guys, and those others who are commenting as well, okay? Good. You need to know this criteria very well, especially clinical communication criteria, as it's unique to OET and your medical communication skills. So first of all, linguistic. Well, we all know this quite well, guys. You're assessed on your intelligibility, your pronunciation, your intonation, your accent, your fluency, which is the impact of your speed and smoothness of your speech. Smoothness is often overlooked, guys. Remember, you can speak as fast as you want, but if you're not connecting your sentence fragments and sentences together effectively, then your smoothness will be affected. Slow down a bit to compensate for this in a second language. Then we have our appropriateness of language, your tone and professionalism. That's important to identify at the beginning of each role play, as we discussed in tip number 2. And then your resources of grammar and expression, your grammatical accuracy and vocabulary choices. Now, accuracy is key. We don't want to be showing off with grammatical structures that we're not too familiar with. Do what you can, do it well, and use it appropriately for the day of the exam. Then, of course, we have our clinical communication criteria, which includes relationship building, understanding and incorporating, providing structure, information gathering, and information giving. These criteria themselves will take a lot longer than today's session to go through. In fact, it takes many, many lessons to actually build up a solid B or A performance in OET through each of these criteria. So that's, of course, why I recommend that you go away and undergo further study with expert OET teachers for learning how to ensure your score will be as high as possible in each of these OET each of these OET scoring criteria, okay? But we're going to be assessing a bit of these today in our OET speaking role plays. All right, guys, well, let's get stuck in. Here are the assessment questions I'm going to be asking candidates today in the OET speaking practice. Basically, a lot of the questions have been from the criteria have been broken down into questions. So I'll be going through and giving some verbal feedback on each of these questions today, with the lucky candidates who get some chance to speak with me today, giving you some pointers on how to improve those aspects, if there's anything that needs to be improved, and also letting you know, guys, what they've done well today in this session. So let's get stuck in to our first OET speaking role play. It is the role play that we have been spending a bit of time analyzing for our preparation time. So in terms of how this is going to work, guys, I'm going to be setting a timer for myself for 3 minutes with that 3 minutes preparation time as we have. That will be starting as soon as I say go, okay? 3 minutes countdown will start to occur. There will be a link going into the stream that you're on, Facebook, YouTube, OET or Swoosh English. Have an eye out for that link. If you do want to do some OET speaking practice with me today, click on that link. You will then come into our streaming studio today. Make sure, of course, you've got a quiet environment. Of course, you've got a microphone, ideally, or something that's going to be of good audio quality, stable internet, as well as a video camera as well. I love a video camera to be on, so I get a chance, of course, to see you and speak to you in today's session overall. So guys, keep an eye out for the link. Come on in if you want to do some practice. This is for our medical practitioners first. There will be other professions coming later on today. If you want to join, please come in. I'd love to have you in the session today. So preparation time starts now, guys. Get a piece of paper and a pen ready to write down some notes for our OET speaking practice today, and make sure you are ready to come in and do some practice. Hopefully that sounds good, guys, and I'll see you all very soon for some OET speaking practice. Preparation time starts now. Let's get going. One minute left, guys, of preparation. 1 minute left. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, guys, that is our preparation time. The longest or shortest 3 minutes of your life, I am sure. So thanks a lot for taking the time to prepare. Thanks to a couple of our candidates coming into the studio today for a chance to do some OET speaking. I've got a guy here who's wearing an absolutely fantastic shirt, so I want to bring that shirt to the forefront of our session today. I'm going to invite Fred to come in and do a bit of OET speaking practice with me today, if he would like to. Fred, I'm going to add you to the stream. Let's see if you're willing to come in. Hello, Fred. Are you there? Hi, Fred. Are you there? Possibly Fred's having some internet issues. Sorry, Fred. I'm going to give the chance to someone else. Hello, Yusra. I'm going to give you a chance to join the stream today. Yusra, I'm going to add you to the stream now. Hello, Yusra. Are you there? Hi, Yusra. Are you there? Hello, Yusra. Are you there? Fortunately not. Guys, I need more people to come into the studio to join me for some speaking. What I'll do right now is I'll send that link back into the StreamYard page, okay? So please come in if you want a chance to do some speaking with me. I've had 2 candidates come in, but unfortunately I can't connect with them. I'll need to have another candidate come in today to do some OET speaking practice with me. So please click on the link, come and join the session if you want to do some speaking practice with me. I see lots of you sending comments in saying me. Well, that's good to hear. I'd like you to click on the link and then come in and get a chance to join me today. But of course, you need to be a doctor. This is for doctor candidates to begin with. Okay. We've got a candidate join us today in the studio called Namwan. Namwan, I'm going to add you to the stream in a few seconds. Okay. Hello, Namwan. Hello, Namwan.
Hello.
Lovely for you to join me today. Can I first of all confirm that you are a medicine practitioner and a doctor? Fantastic. Yes. That's good. First step is completed. How are you today? And thanks for joining us.
I'm pretty good today. Yeah, I'm fine.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Tell me and everyone else a little bit about yourself.
I'm a medical doctor from Thailand and plan to go to the UK for being a doctor in a private hospital in UK.
Fantastic. And when do you plan for all this to happen, these exciting things?
I think I'll be ready in June.
In June? Fantastic.
Yeah, in June, I'll do the examination.
And are you feeling prepared at this point?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to hear. That's what I want to hear. Fantastic. All right, Namwan. Well, let's get started with our OET Roleplay speaking practice today. Are you ready to go?
Yes.
Fantastic. So I'll bring the card back up on the screen for us there. Okay, so I will get the timer ready to go here. When you are ready to go, Namwan, we will just start the roleplay timer. I'll go down for approximately 5 minutes, take a few notes and comments on your speaking abilities today and give you some feedback at the very end. So put into practice as much as possible some of the guidance that we had for your time preparation in the 3 minutes before as well. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, let me know when you're good to go and we'll begin.
Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Kwan Kamon. I'm the doctor working at this clinic. And how can I call you?
Oh, hi, doctor. My name's Scott. Thanks for seeing me today.
Okay, thanks for waiting for me. Hello, Scott. I've seen that you have myocardial infarction, so basically heart disease 2 weeks ago. And what brought you along today?
Well, I'm just really concerned about that recent episode I had and being discharged from the hospital. You know, it's really, really scary. I just want to ensure my health will be as good moving forward and what I can do to remain healthy and prevent this from happening again, doctor. Hopefully you can help me today.
Okay, so you are worried about the further attack and also kind of activity that you can go from beyond, right?
That's right.
Okay, and can I ask you first that how much do you aware of the acute myocardial infarction, or a term is heart disease is?
Oh, I'm familiar with what it is basically. I know what's caused it. I'm just looking
Mhm.
for some advice to make sure I'm good into the future and that I can avoid this episode happening again and staying healthy.
Okay, okay, that's right, that's right. Okay, so now let me explain you about some kind of symptom that you already had, and a recommendation that I will put you through, and also you can do to prevent a further attack. Does that make sense?
It does, yes, thanks.
Okay, so first of all, the fatigueness that you had after the infarction is quite common for many patients. So it takes some weeks to fully recover. So I'd like to advise you to go joining the cardiac rehabilitation, because it's very important, Mr. Scott, for doing that, because it will make your heart strengthening your heart, and also under the supervision you will be secure, and you will know how to do with it, and then after that you can do the exercise at your home. Do you think that you're able to do some kind of exercise at your home?
I'll try, doctor. I don't do a lot of exercise, that's for sure. What exercise would you recommend for me?
Okay, so first of all, the exercise that you can do is any kind that we consider a moderate physical activity. For
Mm,
example, running for 15 minutes per day is okay, or you can go swimming, or you can go just a short walk for 30 minutes. So your heart rate is not going to be like beyond or too tired for you after you recovery.
okay, okay. I don't do much running, but I'll definitely start walking to begin with.
Yeah. You
Um,
need to do. Yeah, you need to start from the basic first.
okay. Um, I've heard that with my heart's obviously under a lot of strain and stress. It's not very healthy. Would too
Mm-hmm.
much exercise, make a relapse occur? Is that possible?
Oh, okay. So it's possible to make a relapse occur. However, I suggest you to go for the cardiac rehabilitation first, and then after that, they will suggest you to start working or start doing exercise before you going to work. So you can start work, you can start doing the exercise after 2 weeks. So actually, you can start exercise for a couple next week, and then you can start go to work again in the next 4 to 6 weeks. It's very important to do exercise because it will strengthening your heart in long term, and
Mhm.
also help you to lose weight, and also help you to lower the level of the lipid in your bloodstream, which
Mm.
is the main problem of the heart disease in many patients. That's it. Nice and clear to you?
Oh yes, thanks for that information. I'll make sure I keep moderate exercise going. The cardiac program sounds great. I'm just wondering if I can return to work. Hopefully, I don't want to be an invalid the rest of my life. And if I can
Mm,
return to work, when would you recommend
mm.
this, doctor?
Okay, I see. It's quite frustrating if you need to stay in a home for a long
Mm,
time. Okay, so basically, going back to work is starting for 4 to 6 weeks after the attack. So you may need to wait for a little bit, some weeks, and then during this time just adapt yourself with exercise, adapt yourself with more
mm,
healthier food, because it might benefit you in the future
mm.
to prevent the attack.
Okay, okay. That was my next question too, doctor. What can I do to prevent further attacks? You're saying
uh,
eat healthier food, of course. Anything else I can do apart from eat healthier foods and exercise more?
Yes, sure, sure. You can about the recommendation apart from the food are healthier. You can do kind of relaxation, do meditation because it's make your heart feeling a little bit calm. Because when you have a over stress, then you can manage it, and then your heart may be working so much, and you cannot handle it. So it's better to do a meditation for 5 days per week, or just starting with the basic one, and then you will go on with it.
Okay, that's good to
Does
know.
it make sense? Do you think you can do it?
I will certainly try. Thank you very much for that advice. It's good to know I got some good advice to take on next. Sure.
Thank you. Do you have any other concerning that you would like to ask me?
No, doctor. I think you've covered a lot of things today. I've got some really good takeaway points in this session, and I feel better about managing this condition into the future.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All
See
right.
you.
See you. Bye bye. Thank you very much, Namwan. Well done. How did you find that today?
Me?
Yes, you. You are Namwan.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes. I'm quite excited. Even though I prepare it for like a week before to know about the criteria and try to practice with my friend.
Okay, okay. So what do you think are your strong points with your OET speaking? What would be your strengths? What you're best at?
My strong point of the
Hard
speaking.
question. It's a hard question, isn't it? What am I good at? Candidates are always very good at thinking, oh, I'm not good at this. But you're not so good at thinking about what you're good at. So have a think. What do you think are your strong points of OET speaking?
Okay, so today, as part of the speaking, I think I have a strong point of the active listening, and also I think I ask a lot of questions and ask about patients' perspective about what do they think of any symptom, do they concern, things like that is strong point.
Certainly a good number of questions were there and a good number of close clarifying questions were asked too. So well done for doing that. And what would you think would be the number one thing that you could have improved on in this role play today, on in general?
Mm. I think I need to do more signposting because
Okay.
I
Okay.
think it's quite hard for me to put kind of signposting before I answer the question, because sometimes I think a patient already asked me a question and I just go direct to answer it without doing a signposting. Yeah.
Could be. There could be. The patient's actually a very good signposter themselves because they will actually indicate what's coming up next in the topic by asking a question and then you answer. But a bit of interpoint signposting could be used as well. So well done. Thank you very much for your feedback on yourself. Let's go through a bit of feedback from myself. And anyone else, guys, please feel free to give Namwan some lovely, lovely words of encouragement today in the chat box and anything else that you think she did really well. And even a few of your own comments and things you could have improved on too. We'll verify some of these things. First of all, did you speak clearly and was easy to understand? I thought that your speaking speed was very appropriate and there was very little hesitation, repetition, or self-correction. So well done. Your pronunciation was mostly very good, a few minor slips. I would maybe think about changing your intonation a bit, rising your pitch when you're asking a question or expressing empathy or a concern, and lowering it towards the end of a sentence. So maybe a little bit more to express yourself in your speaking. Fluent and smooth speaking, as I said, your language and the tone was highly appropriate for a doctor in the medical profession, of course. Not too heavy on medical jargon or formality, but not too informal at the same time. Nice mix, which most candidates are very, very good at. And did you use relevant and correct vocabulary and grammatical structures? For the most part, there are a few small errors that happened here and there. For example, I heard you say, do you have any other concerning? So concerning, of course, is a gerund, it's a verb, and you end it with the verb. It would be, how do you have any other concerns? that you end the sentence with as well. You also said, so you can recovery. So you can recovery. Recovery is the noun, but obviously can, the modal coming before that, you'd have to use the verb form, which is recover. So you can recover, once again. But 2 minor slips is all I heard in my speaking that I took note of. So linguistic criteria, pretty good, minus a few slips and your intonation, should I say. Did you speak in a way that offered empathy and support? I thought you did. I don't think it was very consistent. Definitely at the beginning and towards the end you did, but you could have done a little bit more to reassure me as that anxious patient. Don't worry, Scott, everything is going to be fine. Your myocardial infarction is an event that we can manage, and you will feel okay if you do X, Y, and Z into the future. Just constantly reassure that anxious, concerned patient about my health. But you did offer appropriate support by talking about the appropriate points on the cue card to tell me what I should do. And I was pretty clear about those. Did you listen to the patient and respond effectively and appropriately? Your listening was great. You know, every time I asked the question, you expanded upon the cue card very well, giving me that appropriate information moving forward. Was the delivery of the information structured appropriately? Well, funny enough, this was a class today that we spoke about structure and timing. And the role play today was unfortunately a bit in the long side. It was nearly 7 minutes. So as you can see, candidates have a much bigger problem with keeping their role play within 5 minutes than making up 5 minutes. So we got to think about how we can make those bullet points a little bit more concise. And usually when a patient, of course, ask the questions, you then offer with your reassurance, your rapport, your support, your empathy. That's when I would take the time to ask them about a question about something. For example, you went into a long list about different exercise meanings. You could have asked me, so Scott, like, what do you like to do to move? You know, and make a recommendation based on me as a patient. And if you think it wasn't appropriate, just increase that a little bit too. Instead of talking about my fatigue, I was wondering, obviously you might have been basing that on a follow-up medical consultation, but I was thinking, how does she know I'm fatigued? Might have been a good question to ask me. So how are you feeling? What are you experiencing since that, since your episode? Fatigue, tiredness, dizziness, those sort of things. But think about how we can keep our points really concise. Speaking about 45 seconds to 60 seconds per bullet point. I think you went a little bit heavy into the medical jargon at one point, talking about, you know, what a myocardial infarction was. I don't think that question was super relevant. I probably would have known that from the hospital appointment, but it's focused on symptoms, how you feel, and what can be done next. So that section could have been taken out, okay? So just thinking about the structure of your role play and your time management is an important thing I took away today. Nevertheless, I thought you were good at establishing that empathy towards the end. You asked plenty of close questions to give information back to me and to check for my understanding that was good. Your tone was appropriate. The role play went through successfully from beginning to end. And overall, I was quite satisfied with my information. And if you were my doctor, I'd be like, thank you, Dr. Namwan. You made me feel so good. And I've got all the information that I need. So 3 takeaways today I'd have for you would be to think about your intonation, vary that a bit more. Grammar and vocabulary, they're kind of minor. I think overall it's quite good, but think about how you can up that empathy, up that rapport, and manage your time better in terms of asking more questions in the role play to make it fit within the 5 minutes time approximately. How is that for you, Dr. Namwan? How is that information for you?
Good. I've been to the section before, so it's kind of like a second time for me.
Mm-hmm.
So it is like know how what I need to prepare more, because the conciseness last time I also had a problem with like 7 minutes long.
Right. I recommend getting some support with this for sure. Like you did today, it's going to be invaluable for you to ensure that you're getting that critique in terms of what's going well and what you can improve on as well. It's going to be a game changer when it comes to your OET preparation, getting support like this more consistently and refining your OET practice and focusing on your weaknesses, and that is your conciseness overall. Thank you very much for coming along today, Dr. Namwan. I hope that you found that useful. And I wish you the best of luck with your next steps in your OET preparation. Well done for taking part in the role play today.
Thank you.
And enjoy the rest of the class. Take care. Thank you, everyone, for commenting on Dr. Namwan today as well. Throw us some more comments into the chat box. I'm reading a few here today. Well done, and thank you for that. So that was a good example of how you can get some great feedback on your OET speaking and how we can help signpost you in the right direction towards your OET prep overall, guys. So thank you very much, guys. That's the first role play of the day down. We've got about another 30 minutes of this session today, believe it or not. It's going to be an hour and a half masterclass today with OET. Well, one more role play coming up today, and then I got a few things I want to tell everyone at the very end, as well as our Q&A, of course. So before we, of course, get into the next part of the class, I just want to tell you a little bit about a free resource that we are currently giving away. It is a speaking guide that we at Swoosh English have compiled with our expert teachers. We want to give this away for completely free, and it's going to have lots of information that we have in this class today, including how to navigate all of the speaking criteria, clinical communication, and linguistic. We talk more about time management, signposters, displaying empathy and rapport, offering reassurance, dealing with difficult patients, plus some more. So if you're interested, guys, you'll see the link come through in the comment chat box in a second. You can click on that link now and download it straight away. Also, you can email our team at inquiries@swooshenglish.com. That's inquiries@swooshenglish.com, and we'll be happy to give that guide to you for absolutely free to help you guys in your OET preparation a bit more today. Also, guys, if you're enjoying this session, give us a like, give us a comment in our Facebook and YouTube feed as well, as we hope to have more of you join us with our free sessions and more with Swoosh English leading up to your OET preparation. Okay, guys. Well, let's get stuck in then to the next role play. This one is for our nursing candidates. I saw some comments saying, hey, Scott, where is the nursing role plays today? Don't worry, it's coming up right now. So a bit like last time, guys, let's do the exact same thing. 3 minutes of preparation time. The cue card is here. Pay a lot of attention to our time management practice scenarios that we put into today as well. If you can, come and join the nursing studio, the studio in general, by clicking the link that's going to appear in the comment box on Facebook and YouTube. Good internet connection, a camera ideally, and a quiet environment would be lovely to ensure we have a good experience with your OET speaking. And once you're ready, I will see who can come and join me for some OET speaking practice today. So good luck, everyone. Make sure, of course, that you all practice and prepare anyway, as it's still good practice for today and listening to the role play as it happens. Anyway, enough speaking for me. We're going full screen. The timer starts now, guys. 3 minutes. Good luck. 1 minute, guys. 1 minute of preparation left. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's get back into the studio now. Guys, thanks a lot for coming on today. And thanks a lot for taking part in our preparation for our OET speaking roleplay. So I'm going to give Larissa a chance to come on and do some speaking practice with me today. She's been sitting very patiently for a while. Larissa, I'm going to add you to the stream. Hello, Larissa. How are you today?
Hello, Scott. How are you? I'm fine. Thank you for inviting me.
I'm very well, thanks. Happy to hear that you're okay as well. Lovely to meet you. And tell me a bit about yourself.
I'm Larissa. I'm from Romania, and I'm visiting to you often. Okay, I want to learn from you. I'm a nurse. Okay, I finished my nursing school last year, and I want to go to UK to be a nurse there.
Well, fantastic. Good to have you in the session. Thanks for your kind words too. And hopefully we can help you a bit today with your OET preparation and your dreams of living in the UK. Do you know when you want to take the OET exam?
I'm planning to do in July, to book my OET in July. But until that time, I want to prepare more because I need more preparation.
Good. Only take the exam when you're ready, and you'll know you're ready because you'll be getting the results way in advance. So I recommend that to everyone, guys, today who's listening. Don't rush your OET preparation. Have a good, solid plan that will ensure that you're ready to pass the first time. Okay, Larissa. Well, are you ready to begin our role play today?
Yeah, please.
Right.
We can.
Let's bring you up.
And the role play is on what I want to learn to manage.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. All about diabetes today. Lovely.
Yeah.
All right, Larissa, whenever you're ready, you can start speaking, and I will then start the timer, and then just enjoy the role play, relax, go through the process, and do as well as you can today.
Okay, we can start.
We can start.
Hello, Scott. How are you today?
Hi, nurse. Thanks a lot for seeing me today.
So, thank you for accepting my visit, Scott, today. How are you feeling from last time when I see you?
It's a roller coaster ride, right? Oh my goodness. Diabetes. It's just scary having diabetes, isn't it? And having to take insulin injections, that just frightens me. I have no idea what to do. So hopefully you can help me feel better about this new procedure I have to undergo.
Oh, I understand that. I understand. Scott, are you afraid about the injection or not? This is my question for you.
Yeah. I'm not really afraid of the injection. I'm just afraid about doing it right, so to say, about ensuring the procedure goes okay.
Okay. You will do proper today, Scott, but I will explain to you and see how I will explain you all the procedures and all the technique, and you will do better, believe me.
Thank you. That's good to hear.
Okay. So you know when you'll do an injection, you have to choose a proper place to do it. You can do it on arms, okay, or in the round of the belly, okay, and after that, before to start, you have to take the needle and see if the needle is proper there, and you have to take a alcohol pad, and clean it the whole area, and keep it a little bit up. And let me see, I don't know, this way, yeah, you can keep a little bit the skin, and push it with the needle, not push it too hard. The injects have to be in the sub in the sorry, and to be proper. And after that, take away the needle, and press it a little bit, not too far, not too hard, and push the injection.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's good to know.
Another thing, you have to put back the needle, and put it on the proper container.
Yeah.
Okay, don't leave it on the table or everywhere. Just put it on the container. We'll give it to you, the container, and we'll explain to you everything where you need to put the needles.
Okay, so I have to dispose of them correctly. Okay.
Yeah, you have to dispose it correctly, the needles. Don't leave it on the around the house, or in the everywhere in the house. Okay.
Yeah, I understand, nurse. It sounds so scary putting this needle into me. Oh my goodness. Where would you recommend I inject it? What would be the most easy and painless place to inject?
The inslet is in the belly, because it's
Okay.
easier for you, and you can do it properly, and you can see it, and you will not feel the pain. You will not feel, because the needle is smaller needle, so you will not feel at all. Just like a pinch of with the bite of the bee.
Okay.
That's it.
And will this become easier over time?
Yeah. Over time, you will feel like it's a part of the day by day. You will do today, tomorrow again, and you will get used to do this.
Okay. And a question maybe for the doctor, but wonder if you can help me.
Yeah, you can.
Do I need to inject insulin? I've been previously taking diabetic controlled tablets. Why is that no longer an option?
The problem is your blood sugar is a little bit high. It's higher, and the doctor decided to change it from the medication to oral medication to injection, because the oral medication now it's not making your body to getting down your blood sugar. So with the injection, will help your blood sugar to getting on the right level. So.
Sure.
After you went last time in our to see the GP, and you had a blood test, and after this we see your blood sugar is high. So the doctor decided you will have to go to insulin injection. That's why they decided. But other question or other problems, you can ask me now.
Sure, nurse. I think I've kind of got the gist of it. Maybe you could just, after this consultation, show me how to inject the needle again. I'm pretty clear what I have to do. I don't want to do it, but I guess I have to. Thanks.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, you have to do it. You have to do it. Otherwise, your blood sugar will be high, and you'll feel a little bit not so good. But if you let me to show you on first time, okay, and I will explain you all the steps, you will do proper.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for all this today. It's been really, it's been helpful speaking to you. Thanks a lot for making me feel better about it.
Thank you for accepting me. Have a nice day.
Thank you, nurse. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, and we're done, Larissa. Well done. How was that for you?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's not a good sign.
I had too much. I just stop in the middle. I lose it.
Were you nervous today?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Of
I was
course.
too nervous and I didn't follow the role play. I was, oh no.
That's natural. It's natural, especially doing it online with hundreds of people watching today, because there are, and doing it for the maybe first, second time, I'm not sure. Anyway, well done, because there's a lot of strengths in that role play too, and a lot of areas that we can very easily make quick gains and quick improvements on. That's good to hear. So let's just go through a few things, taking into
Yes,
account, of
please.
course, your nerves. Yeah, you were a clear speaker. You were easy to understand. I could tell you were nervous because you were speaking quite rapidly sometimes. So
Yeah.
that happens when we're nervous. Either we freeze or don't speak, or we go really, really quick and really rapid. So just containing that anxiety that you had in those nerves and making yourself a bit more a controlled speaker will improve that a bit more. I thought that your pronunciation and intonation was great. You spoke with a lot of tone changes and a lot of expression. One pronunciation error I picked up on was the word procedures. You said procedures. So
Oh, okay.
procedures, the long E, procedures, but nothing too major.
Mhm.
Did you speak fluently and smoothly with few hesitations and false starts? Well, I can tell if you got your nerves underway that those hesitations and false starts would just decrease. I can tell you've got a nice fluent command of the English language. So that would be good. It's just by managing that anxiety, preparing better, and feeling more comfortable with yourself in the role play itself. I thought you were very appropriate for a nurse, very warm, very friendly, suitably formal, but not too informal at the same time. And there were a few grammatical structures here and there. I didn't really take a note of them, but there were a couple of gerund versus infinitive errors, a few collocation mistakes here and there. Nothing too major, but of course you need dedicated grammatical practice with dedicating some of those. It's hard for me to take a note of them all while doing it, while being the interlocutor as well. A few minor errors here and there. Now, on to clinical communication criteria. Your empathy and your support was great. It was really nice. You really tried to make me feel okay about the procedure.
Really? Did you
Feel
feel
good
it?
about it. I did.
You know,
I felt it. Yeah.
you know, I'm feeling like I'm not giving this kind of empathy, and I'm not focused on to giving a right empathy to that person.
I think you did
I don't
great.
know.
I think you're very naturally a very good empathetic person. So all you got to do
Thank
is
you.
really just expand upon how to express that more in English. But I could feel the empathy with what you were doing. So maybe expand upon offering different means of reassurance, building rapport, demonstrating empathy and care as well. But I could feel it, and it's naturally there. That's great. Did you listen to the patient and respond effectively and appropriately? You definitely listened to me well. You heard my concerns. You responded. It wasn't always appropriate, as we can tell, and that comes down to point number 3, delivery of information structured appropriately. And that was the big takeaway from this role play today, was your organization and your structure of the role play. It did come in at 6 minutes and 30. And we'll just go back a slide here to show you one thing I picked up. Bullet point number 2, explain slowly and clearly the whole process of giving the injection. This is a good tripping point for someone who hasn't thought about how to organize this point carefully. This went on for about 1:30, and then you kind of like jumped into safe needle disposal, went back up here, went down here. I would recommend, when you're going into long descriptions, that you have breaks every so often with the patient. Is everything okay so far, Scott? Are you clear about this? Because this is quite a long, detailed situation. Then offer some empathy, saying, Scott, I'll demonstrate this with you afterwards as well to show more empathy and support, because that was my main anxiety, was about this procedure and how to do it. That also comes into probably actually asking more closed questions as well. Information giving is an important criteria for clinical communication, and that's for checking for understanding. Not much of that was done, so you wouldn't have scored highly in that area too, which could be a difference between a C+ and a B, for example. So more closed questions, especially in that procedure. How is this so far for you, Scott? Is everything clear for you so far? Do you need me to re-explain? And then throughout the process, how is everything for you? How do you feel about all of this? Ask these closed questions throughout to check that I'm understanding it and I'm okay with the information that is being given, okay? So structure of these areas too was really important. And because there's not a lot on this role play card, really, you need to try and find other means of extending it, and that would be just checking for my understanding, addressing my concerns, which might come about from these explanations overall. But I thought that you dealt with most parts of the role play card very well. I also remember it said to avoid using medical jargon that you're not sure about. You got tongue-tied on the word subcutaneous, remember? You got tongue-tied on that word, and that tripped you up and actually took away from the flow of the role play a good bit as well. So try and use words and phrases which you are okay with, and avoid using complex medical jargon as much as possible. But overall, was I satisfied? Well, yeah. I felt the warmth. I felt the care. You explained the information I needed. It might not have been super clear at times because of the nature of the information you were giving me. So 2 takeaways today, Larissa, would be for you to think about ways that you can expand your empathetic phrases, structure your role play a bit more. Also ask more closed questions to double down on my understanding of what's being said as well. Those are the 3 things I look at into doing. But I think you've got a lot of raw talent there, so to say. Then we can definitely improve that very pretty well if you know what you are lacking in and what you need to improve on. So overall, good role play. Just a few areas of refinement overall. How is that for you?
Oh, it was a good structure, and now I know where I need to focus. Thank you for that, Scott.
Fantastic. Well, that's great to hear, Larissa. So thanks a lot for coming on board today.
Thank you.
Doing that speaking practice. That's the scariest thing you'll ever do, because the real interlocutors will be much nicer than me. So
no, you are no, don't say that. You look beautiful. Don't do that.
Anyway, what I'll say is, if you can do it in front of hundreds of people, you can do it in front of them in the real OET exam. Okay. So thanks a lot for coming today. Hope you find it useful.
Thank you.
Best of luck with your preparation, whatever you decide to do next. Of course, we at Swoosh are willing to help out as much as we can anyone about their OET preparation. And it's been lovely meeting you. Thanks a lot for coming today.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
You too. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, guys, that was Larissa. I hope that you enjoyed the speaking practice that she did today. Let us know in the chat box in the comments how you think that she got on, and also how you reflect upon your own OET practice role plays with what Larissa did today as well. Looking forward to seeing your comments, guys. All right, well, that was lovely. 2 lovely little role plays today, guys. The Q&A is coming up, where I'm going to give everyone a chance to ask me your questions about OET preparation. Today's OET speaking role play practice for about a little bit of time. So in the meantime, a few words of wisdom from me and the Swoosh English team about how to pass first time, which is what we all want to do. First of all, you need motivation to succeed, which most of you have. You have your dreams and you have your goals. You need sufficient time for OET preparation. Larissa today said she's looking to take in the exam in July or onwards. Don't rush. Don't prepare last minute. Be aware about a suitable timeline for you for practicing, and do it. Get the appropriate tools for practice, live classes or writing corrections, expert teacher feedback. It will pay off in the long run, and make sure you're getting that essential support and feedback like what Namwan and Larissa got today in their speaking, but other parts of the exam as well. So think to yourself, do you have all of these? And if you don't, how can you enable yourself to get all of these? Well, the first thing that we want to do, of course, is remind you that we are here to help at Swoosh English. We want to give you access to our free OET speaking guides. So if you want to get access to that, and just simply click on the link inside the chat box in the in the link on the channel you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube. On YouTube as well, there will be a link inside the description of this video, so you can click on that link inside the description and download your free speaking guide from there, or you can give our team a message at inquiries@swooshenglish.com. That's inquiries@swooshenglish.com. I've already mentioned what we give you in that free guide, but we basically expand upon all the lessons that we do in OET at Swoosh English, including demonstrating rapport, structuring the role play, dealing with difficult patients, organizing your time appropriately, etc., etc. A great free resource on your OET speaking from us at Swoosh English. So make sure you click on the link and download your free guide today. We want to make that available to everyone. Okay, so guys, in addition, maybe you're ready to take your OET practice to the next level. You're thinking, well, Scott, this resonates with me. I want to get expert teacher feedback. I want to get a dedicated course. I want to pass first time. My exam's coming up really soon, Scott. I need practice. Well, if your exam is coming up in less than 6 weeks, we have the perfect intensive crash course option for you. It's our OET intensive course. And if you're interested in that, all you have to do is click on the link I'm sending into the chat box for our OET intensive course. That is if your exam is in less than 6 weeks, you don't have much time, and you want to enable yourself to pass as quickly as possible. Okay, now if your exam is more than 6 weeks away, or you haven't booked it yet and you want to go nice and slow about your OET preparation, well then I recommend our OET Deluxe package for you. That's a long-term course that enables you to study slowly but effectively over time to ensure you're ready for your big OET exam, guys. So if you're interested in that, simply click on the link that I'm putting into the chat box now. I will be showing you what we have in these course preparation options on the inside. Of course, it includes some practice with our OET teachers and live classes, and some support from our teachers, which is essential for your OET speaking practice, or OET Deluxe package. So what do we get inside those? Well, you'll get access to an exam readiness test. That's a mini mock OET exam in which you'll get feedback on your speaking, your reading, your writing, and your listening. You'll essentially do an OET exam and know where you're at. So you can benchmark your progress and see how far you are away to getting that OET grade on the day. We have video courses on all skills led by our OET expert teachers with quizzes and assessments to see how well you're picking up the skills. We have live OET skills classes and OET reading, writing, and listening with expert OET teachers with decades of experience. These also include live speaking mock exam classes and live writing correction classes too. So you can get live feedback on your speaking and writing in our classes with our teachers. All of our classes are recorded, so you're busy medical professionals means that if you miss it because of your shift patterns, etc., you can catch up at another time. We've got a writing correction service, super important, especially for OET writing being arguably the hardest part of the OET exam to pass. We'll make sure that you have a series of writing corrections to submit at any time flexibly and get feedback within 24 hours on your OET writing. You can do more OET mock exams at a later date to benchmark your progress and see if those tools and that feedback and support is getting you higher to your OET's passing grade on the day of the exam, plus more as part of our intensive and our deluxe packages, guys. So if you're interested in any of these, click on the link inside the chat box. We've helped thousands of students pass their OET exams before, and we'd love to help thousands more of you guys do the exact same thing with us at Swoosh English. Okay, guys. Now it's time for the Q&A. If anyone has any questions today about today's OET preparation session, about your OET speaking, about how we at Swoosh English can and will help you pass your OET exam quicker and for cheaper, then please throw your comments into the chat box today, and I'll be happy to answer any of them very, very briefly. Of course, if anyone's any other questions, you can see at the bottom of the screen here, it says inquiries@swooshenglish.com. That's inquiries@swooshenglish.com. My colleagues will be very happy to answer your questions outside of this session. If anything doesn't get answered, we're here to help and we will help you. So give us an email at inquiries@swooshenglish.com and we will be more than happy to help you with your OET questions and preparations today. let's get stuck into some questions then. Samira, hello Samira, said, I'm beginner. Kindly explain to me about sign posters. Well, sign posters takes an entire lesson by itself, Samira, but what they essentially are, they are devices which will allow you to transition from one part of the OET speaking role play section to the other. They will indicate to the listener what is coming next. There are a lot of signposting devices to use in different contexts, but of course we can use phrases like moving on to, in regards to this, speaking about this, etc., are a few signposters that we can use. But it's good to use these inside the context of the OET speaking and get expert feedback while you're doing those, Samira. And they take a series of lessons by themselves. We at Swoosh English can help you with those. Thank you very much for your question. Okay. Alex, when it comes to questions about cost of the OET exam, go on to the OET website and they will give you some advice about cost on the OET website themselves. But if you've got any aspects and questions about the price of our OET preparation options, we'd be more than happy to help you. Okay. Hello, Obed has said, what's the average weeks for preparation to get above 400 score? I can't answer that question, Obed, because I don't know where you're currently at. That depends on where you are and where you want to be. And that depends on your starting point and how far it can take you. It also depends how effectively you're studying and how often you're studying as well. On average, though, it can take you about 2 or so months to go up an OET letter grade with about 10 to 15 hours of preparation study per week. But that's good quality study with expert feedback and tools and support from OET expert teachers and course providers. So, Obed, my recommendation would be come and join us at Swoosh English. We will allow you to know how far away you are or how close you are to your OET 400 score. And with that question, we will then be able to give you a structured pathway to OET 400 completion. But the first thing you need to know is where you're currently at. Why not do an exam readiness test with us, Obed, and we would help you out with that to begin with. Hope that answers your question, Obed. Shrishti has said, how to increase confidence so that there won't be a mix-max of sentence. Practice, practice, practice. Dedicated speaking role play to expert teachers, with your friends, with other students. Just simply practice in English as much as you can, Shrishti, in OET specific role plays, but also just general English practice as well. It's like when you do open your mouth to speak in English, you will be super, super confident. Also, it helps to get feedback when you're OET speaking to know that you are doing it as well as you can. Hope that answered your question, Shrishti. Okay. Let me see any other comments coming in here. Oh, lovely comments coming in. Nenma, Jyoti, and Shinju have left me nice comments about today's session. Lovely, guys. Thank you very much for your questions. That's lovely. And Jericho has said, every time I attend your lecture, my confidence level increases. Thank you very much. Jericho, you're very welcome. I'm happy to help today. Happy to help in its entirety. Okay. Let's see. Mike has said, I need that. My exam's on the 28th of May. Mike, the intensive package is perfect for you. It's designed for someone who has 1 month. You have 1 month of preparation, Mike. So if you've enjoyed what you've had today with your OET speaking practice with me, that's just a snippet of what we can offer you at Swoosh English. So Mike, click on the link for the OET intensive package. Come and check us out. We'd be happy to have you on board with us today as an OET student with us at Swoosh English. Hope that is of benefit to you. And thank us well for your kind words too, Mike. It's lovely to see these comments come through. Thank you very, very much. Let's see, what else do we have? Syphilice, I think that's right. How do calm my nerves while speaking? Like I said earlier, it's about feeling as confident as you can. And how can you feel as confident as you can about your OET speaking, but practicing as much as you can? OET dedicated practice, but also general English. Just speak in English as much as you can to improve your fluency, to improve your smoothness, to improve your grammatical and vocabulary ranges as well as your accuracy overall. Also, it helps just to breathe a little bit before your OET speaking. Take a deep breath, go into it as much and calm as you can. Do some meditation practice too. Be very wary about your speaking speed. Deliberately slow it down so you can improve, and put all that into practice many times, syphilisi, and hopefully that will be of benefit to you. But nothing is better than knowing that you're ready for the OET roleplay on the day of the exam by getting expert feedback and expert lessons from expert teachers. And we can help you with that at Swoosh English. Amir, that's a lovely comment. Scott, you are the best teacher. I can't say I'm the best, but thank you very, very much for that comment, Amir. Lovely. It's made my day. Hopefully I made your day as well. And WD, thank you very much for your support as well. That's such a lovely comment, guys. Thank you very much. It just makes me feel that what I'm doing is working, and that makes me feel happy for that. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing very, very, very well. Thank you very much for your questions. Okay. All right, guys. Let's see if we've got any more quick questions coming in here. Let me see. We've got Dan. Hello, Dan. Hi, Scott. During the role play, if the speaker has pauses, will it affect the score? Could do, Dan. It could do. I can't say for definite, but if there are long pauses, that can affect your fluency, because that would essentially be a breakdown in your speaking patterns. It depends how long they are. There, of course, you're allowed to pause every so often when you are speaking, as long as, of course, you are joining up appropriately. So it depends on the scenario. You don't want to be pausing for too long mid-sentence or interpoints, but some pauses are appropriate for you to gather your thoughts and think about how you're going to join that sentence fragment on or move on to the next point. Just best to see how that's working, Dan, in your own bespoke scenario by getting feedback from a teacher. You know, are your pauses appropriate or inappropriate? And then getting some feedback and advice on how to improve that for your future OET speaking, Dan. Hopefully that answered your question. Okay, guys. Thank you very much, everyone, for your comments and questions. I think that we are pretty much out for these questions today. But as I said, guys, at the bottom of the screen, we have our email address, inquiries@swooshenglish.com. So give us an email at inquiries@swooshenglish.com. And my team and I would be very, very happy to help you out with some more questions and some more comments being answered. We're always available to help out with your OET queries and questions. So send us an email and we would be happy to help you further. Lovely comments coming in here. Jarek said, having been watching this channel for the past few weeks, it's really, really helpful. Thank you, Jarek, and thank you very much for that lovely comment as well. Keep watching. We're here to help, and we will continue to help you with your OET practice and preparation. So anyway, my name is Scott from Swoosh English. It's been an absolute pleasure having you guys here today in the session. A reminder about our free OET guide. Make sure you download that today by clicking the comments in the chat box. Come and join us for a full OET preparation course if you are interested in it, of course. That's the next step for your OET preparation. And I wish everyone the absolute best of luck with their OET preparation over the next while. I hope that you ace it. We'll help you ace it if you are not feeling confident in any way. And it's been an absolute pleasure having you guys here today. So as I said, I'm Scott from Swoosh English. It's been lovely having you guys here today. Have a great day. Good luck with your prep. Have a lovely weekend. And I'll see you soon again with some more OET speaking practice here at Swoosh English. Take care. Have a lovely day.